Hello, it's Lamore, the Jahm Master Jedi Prince. And I'm here today to start off this dialogue and start off this place I call the Life Force Power Center and the Life Force Power Temple. Now myself, as a practitioner of the Life Force energy of the Universal Life Force, I've been going all over the place. I've been traveling all over the place, studying and practicing, and trying to find a good place to actually call home, or a place where I could grow and evolve in my life force understanding and my practitioner graduation as a master of the life force energy and universal law. There have been a lot of great places out there, but unfortunately they haven't lived up to what I needed, because of my understanding is just on a different dimension of what is available in this world and for these people in this world. But it doesn't mean that there are not good places. It just means that we need to have another place. I need to have another place where I can grow and I can evolve without hitting this ceiling of letting go and letting God and letting some deity or some other thing handle my growth. Because as a Jahm Master Jedi, as a life force practitioner, or Jedi realist, or force practitioner realist, I'm responsible for understanding and implementing universal law. I'm responsible for understanding and embodying these laws of the universe within myself, within my being. There is no other being outside of me, no other deity outside of me that does that. And this is my practice. And as I practice this, then I need to be in a realm, in a circle of people who accept this or understand this, so my growth and my practice can be complete or in balance and harmony, since we know there is no completion. And with that, what I've studied over the time, over the years, some may know my story and some may not. That is not important right now of the story. I'll probably do the story later on my origin, how I got here, excuse me, I've been training for a while, so I'm a little exhausted here. But this is like an emergency video, because the state of the world and the things that's happening in the world is just really at a crucial point. We're facing so many endgame scenarios that's happening in the world. So I had to make this video, and I had to start this process. I've been saying for years that I would do this temple, I would do this power center, but I just got so busy with working and other productions I'm working on and just life in general. But now there's even no time to be busy, because of the level of attack that we are facing from the highest evil entities or beings or situations or bad choices itself is at the highest it's ever been. And the good news is there are solutions. The bad news is a lot of people ignore the solution, live in denial of the issue, so they can't even find a solution, or choose not to even activate the solution. So this temple, this place, it's not for those people. This is the place for those who are ready to take responsibility of their power, those who are ready to take the responsibility of learning and understanding these powers within the realm of universal law and the universal life force. And those who are ready for that, I welcome you to come, because this is a true open practice to the universal law. Unlike a lot of places and spiritual centers and so forth, they say they are open to this, to anybody, any belief system, but a lot of times it's very limited, because when they say we're open to belief system, but you must pray this way, you must do this way, and so forth, it kind of closes your true thought, because now you have to practice, you have to hold hands, you have to sing the way they say. And there is nothing wrong with that, because that is their system, but they just need to be more valid in introducing that and bringing people in. Now with this system, the Life Force Power System and the Universal Life Force Power Center, as well as Power Temple, I'll be posting these things on the pages and online right now. Like I said, this is an emergency video. I didn't even have time to do this. I haven't had time to do this, but it is so crucial now because we are just at this final game scenario where a lot of things are changing, and we have lost a lot of people on this planet, and we will continue to lose even more people on this planet. And the loss of so many celebrities is just a reflection of the people we lost in our circle and other people around the world. The only difference is with celebrities, people pay more attention to than even a family member or even friends. They pay more attention to a celebrity loss, so they see the difference. But you equal the amount of celebrities leaving for a lot of reasons involving this negative realm, negative energy, as opposed to what we had in the past. Then you see that this transition has increased and sped up. So because of that, then we will need a place where we could call home, where we could find our peace, where we could find our spiritual understanding, our life force understanding. We're going to need a place where we can be consoled and consulted on all of these events that's happening. We're going to need a place where we may have to have services for our transition loved ones. And there are a lot of places out there that are traditional. Like I said, I've tried the traditional for years. I grew up with most of the traditional stuff, and I'm not going to knock it. It's a process, and as you awaken to that process, then you decide for yourself personally whether you will evolve from that tradition or you will stay there and just die with that tradition. But for me, I choose to evolve as a being. I choose to evolve as a life force being on this planet, and I did receive a lot of prophecies and stuff like that I won't go through now because most of it we're already in the middle of it, and we're at the end of it, of the old prophecies, and we're at the beginning of the new ones. In the beginning of the new ones, it's going to be a few people who have this powerful understanding to move humanity forward and to move life forward. And that's the good news. There are solutions. There are other positive energies and beings and situations that work always constantly. This is not about a dead, old, flatline philosophy. This is about a life force, a living life force that's here and now that you can contact and you can feel today, just as your breath of life, just as everything exists in this energy. You can contact this energy and begin to master its powerful effect within your life and take your power back. The key is take your power back. And that is what this whole thing that I've been doing all these years is about, setting up a place, not to tell you what to do, what to believe, how to believe, but to know that you have this power to do and create and believe whatever you want. And so far, if you look at just a short understanding how history is, the powers that be that control society have used our powers to create this world. So the world we have now is just a creation of the powers that be, and they created these systems. They created this workday force. They created all these money systems. All these things was created to build a world for them to keep us enslaved. And if you haven't figured it out, then you could take your time and study that and get back with me or get back to this channel or wherever I'll be broadcasting. I'm going to take a short break, but I will do another part of this later. Like I said, this is a rough intro. This is an emergency intro to lay this out. And if you are interested in helping me build this Life Force Power Center or temple, find a way to donate, find a way to contribute, find a way to show up, find a way to practice, to share, to like, whatever you need to do. This will not be open to the public. I am not going to open this up to the public. I'm going to keep this just for those who are really ready for this knowledge, and I will not do a lot of public events at this time, maybe later. But for now, it's all important to have this place to exist, is have this place to share, to grow, because we need, as a superhuman, as a super being, there's no place, there's no temple for those who have superpowers. There's no place who are interested in finding their super being. There's no place for those who are interested in taking their power back. There's no place for those who are interested in transcending old ways and old dead belief systems into new living belief systems. That's every day, because what is true, what is real, is always alive. It's always burning in you. It's always connecting with you. what is dead and old and written stays dead and old and written, and just gets translated over to another form of that. So I won't get into that part, but I will stay on this part here of this is the first day, the first creation of the Life Force Power Center, the Life Force Power Temple, return of the Jahm Master Jedi Prince into the realm of Earth, 2017. We're here to build this new understanding of the old, ancient, original way. So remember that this is a new understanding of our original way as human beings. The original understanding that has been taken away from us, that has been lost and manipulated to create this false world, this world of enslavement that we don't want. I mean, if you had the power, or you knew you had the power to create the world you want, would you create this kind of work week? Would you create this kind of monetary system? Would you create this kind of poverty of those on top and those on the bottom? No, you wouldn't. But who would create something like that? Someone who lives in fear. Someone who lives in fear trying to protect what they got. So we don't have to worry about that because we're going to crush and break all of these cycles of fear. We're going to start slaying some dragons. We're going to start slaying some negative energy. And we're going to start uprising a new generation. A new generation that's already here, that's ready to be awakened. And for those who are part of an older generation, is for you to recognize this new generation is here and will be a force to be reckoned with. For your old ways are done. And the new ways of the new world, not the new world order, there's three worlds. There's the old dying world that started dying in 2000 and pretty much in its last phase in 2012. There's the second world of this digital technology and this other generation who's stuck in the in-between. And it's a third world where people will have their truth, their power, their knowledge to overcome and override all of these systems. And speaking of override, there's a system called a universal override. It's a creative force that overrides every evil, every dark plan that's ever created. That's why when the powers that be created the internet to enslave us, universal override created us to communicate with each other, to create jobs, to create opportunities, to get rid of the gatekeepers. And humanity has risen from that enslavement into what we're doing now, having these videos and these conversations and being able to work with each other and talk with each other and have friends on different social media sites. In other words, if I have you as a friend and you're halfway around the world or other places in the world, why would I go to war with you and your country if you're on my friend page, if you're a fan or I'm a fan of you? Why would I want to fight someone who's friends with me? So this thing by us connecting and this power and this freedom helps to evolve us into our original state of what we have to go through this process. Unfortunately, and this process is largely because a lot of people have chosen to experience what we're about to go through. So it cannot be stopped. It could be slowed down, it could be mitigated and maybe shortened, but it cannot be stopped because it is a free will choice of so many people to be in denial, to be blind, to be passive, just let someone else handle it. So that's their free will. And in universal law, we understand free will very well. So that free will allow these people and some of us to go through this process. That's why I'm doing this emergency thing today, because we will need help understanding this process and deciphering this process. And you will have to have a place to go to that's truly for you, not a place that says maybe this, maybe that, believe this, believe that, but a place that's truly for you to connect with the ultimate being that you are. And it's all about being the ultimate being you are, the superhuman being that you are, which is actually normal. But in this day and age where things are so stripped from us, before we had things we dealt with our mind and we understood phone numbers and mathematics. Now we can't do anything without the cell phones, without the technology. We need that. So everything that was in here is put on the outside of us, and it's given to the companies and the phone companies and other businesses that we gotta, the stuff we had like telepathy, now we gotta pay AT&T for our telepathy, or AT&T for our cloud storage and what we used to have in our mind, or Warner or whoever is running the system. We gotta pay for what we normally have within us. So this is how things are stripped from us. So there's a lot to say. There's a lot to go on with. I'm not going to go too much into this right now. There's a lot. But mainly it's about getting your power back within yourself. When you do that, I don't have to tell you what to believe, what to do, because you'll have the power to do what's right for you. And what's right for you will automatically be right for everyone. Because when you don't live in fear, you live in strength. You live in a place where you have all you need. There's no reason to hurt or live in fear. And this is what the powers that be do not understand. Everything they're doing is coming to a futile end because they're living in fear, and everything they do is based on fear. And they spend every day and night trying to keep control of what they cannot ever control. And they cannot control life, and they cannot control death, because we will leave these bodies and we can return and return and turn until they understand, until we understand. So with that is, I will end this right now, and I welcome all who are interested in joining and finding their power and experimenting with their power and growing in their power and having a place. Most of all, having a place. I definitely want to build a place, a solid temple, a training center where we could exercise these powers of ourself, not of a religion or a belief system, but a power of ourself and knowledge of universal laws. This is what we need to have. So if you're into that and you're part of this new generation, and you want to awaken and leave these old systems behind. If you're part of the older generation, you've just been awakened so long, and there just has not been a place for you to go or to attend. If you're part of any other traditional situation and you just evolve from that and you want more, here's your opportunity. Here's your opportunity to get with me, to find out where I'm at and connect with that. And to connect with that power and start connecting. Like I said, I'm very busy right now because of the spiritual work I have to do, the life force work, and the other business and entertainment work I have to do to make sure these systems work. And as well, don't forget, you must enjoy your life. Even though all these things are going on that are challenging, you still have to find a way to have joy, to have fun, to have excitement. And part of being a warrior is being able to laugh through the battle, being able to celebrate through the battle, being able to celebrate the transitions of our loved ones into greatness and to the other side. We have to bring these powers back because we have lost that. It's not all about living in grief and living in sadness. It's about living in strength. So with that, I'm going to sign off with this, and hopefully I'll see a lot of you in the center or online, whatever medium that transpires from this. But this is the first day, so be it. Power force be with you.